Kristin, welcome to the program.
Hi.
How did you get into the theater?
Okay, well, it first started when I was 4. I started doing like dance and I really love like being on the stage. I was always the one that was like, I like being the center of attention. Mm-hmm. So I always had to be front row, very center. And so like, I just loved performing. And then so in 2nd grade for choir class, or I think it was choir, we had like a little concert and we all had to audition to get like solo, stuff like that. So I'm like, of course, I'm going to audition. Right. So I got a solo. And then after that, they're like, okay, now we're going to audition for like people to be like the mom and dad and the brother and sister for the show. And I'm like, what? Like, I want to do that. So then I'm like, okay, I want to audition for that now too. So I auditioned for that and they actually put me as the mom. I was just like, oh, look at me. I'm the mom. And of course, in 2nd grade, it was the coolest thing because I was just sitting on the stage. It was like, I wasn't really like acting that much. Like, it was just like a little bit because like I had to be like a mom. Right. But it was just mainly I was on stage just swinging in a swing the whole time. I'd get up to do like a song or two and sit back down. But it was the coolest thing ever for me. And that's whenever I realized, like, I want to be an actress. Like, I love this. Everyone's looking at me. Like, that's what I want to do. But then I started my school. I moved to Arizona. Yeah. And my elementary school, stuff like that, they didn't have theater. Really? So, yeah. I thought that was weird. Like, I was really upset, but I started doing, like, band. Mm-hmm. So in 5th grade, they had to make you do either band or choir. Yes. So I'm like, I want to learn how to play an instrument. I think that would be cool.
So what did you learn to play?
So, flute.
Flute?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I loved it. Yeah. So I did that until like sophomore year of high school. Mm-hmm. But then towards like 7th and 8th grade, I started going back to the like, I want to do theater still. Right. But once again, high school didn't have it. And so I was just like, okay, maybe I should just stick with band. Right. So then my sophomore year of high school, I had to quit band for certain reasons. So I was just like, well, I have nothing to do now. And I always wanted, like my freshman year, they actually had a theater class. Right. And I always wanted to do that. It's just I didn't have time because I was doing dance and band and it just didn't fit my schedule. So my sophomore year, I was just like, maybe this is my time to try theater. Mm-hmm. So an audition for a UIL came up. Right. And I didn't really like know anything about like auditions, like stuff like that. So my friends were like, come on, you should audition. It will be really cool. And I was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe. And then my mom talked me into it. Mm-hmm. So the day of, I decided, okay, I'm going to audition. They're like, oh, you need an audition piece. I'm like, what? Like, what's that? They're like, oh, you need to come up with like a monologue. I'm like, where am I supposed to get one of those at? So I ended up, we were reading Antigone in English class that year. Right. And so since that was a play, I'm like, oh, I might as well just take some from that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know at the time that when you audition, you're supposed to do something like that fits you. Oh, as opposed to just random. Yeah. Oh, this is a piece, I'll use it. So I decided to do the guy from Antigone. What's his name? I'm sorry, but whatever his name is, I did one of his like scenes, which was crazy. So I started trying to memorize it, and memorizing in one day, like I couldn't do that. So I was sitting upstage, like trying to do it, and the theater director came up to me and she's like, okay, Kristin, try this. Put the book down and just say whatever you want. Like, if you forget, just make it up. Like, just pretend like you know what you're doing. So I'm like, okay. So I start doing that, and they're like, okay, now for the audition, you're going to pick an animal, and you're going to say your monologue as that animal. I'm like, what? So I don't know why, but I decided like a gorilla. Yeah. So I was saying this monologue as a gorilla. Yeah. Horrible. Like, it was horrible. But, I mean, I did okay, I guess. I mean, I got in the show. Right. So, I mean, the first audition I did, I got in. And that was, like, an amazing experience because it was a UIL, so we go and compete. Yes. And that's when I, like, really fell in love with theater. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep with this. Do you consider yourself more a dancer, singer than an actor? Well, I'm more of a dancer. Right. So I think it goes, like, dancing, then acting, then singing. Then singing? I'm not really, like, a super strong singer. I'm getting better. Right. But I'm more of a stronger dancer than singer. So what is it about dance that is uniquely you? Like I said, like, I just love being on stage. So it's like, I'm on stage, I just want to show everyone what I can do. Sure, yeah. So I think that's, like, a big thing. And I mean, since I was doing dance since I was like little, and my mom, she did dance like her whole life too, so that kind of helped me into it. And
do you have a particular style of dance that you prefer?
Not really. I mean, I like jazz type, but I mean, not really. Lately, since this show and then from Shrek, I figured out I love tap dancing.
Oh, and it's not that many people tap. It used to be a big deal, and then it kind of went away. And now all these shows, the joke last season was like, if you weren't doing a show, if you didn't have tap in it.
Yep. So now it's like, I love, like, when I found out that the producers had a tap, like, had 2 tap numbers, I'm just like, ooh, I have to do that now. So.
It's incredibly athletic. It's
totally a workout.
I like Jill. She's like, this is the best 2-hour 50 workout I get all week. Because you guys are continually changing with the wigs and costumes, and then you get on, you got to be on and smiling and doing stuff. And then you're going and doing something else. It's craziness. It's Mel Brooks. What do we expect?
Yeah.
What do you want to do that you haven't done yet in theater?
Like shows?
Any shows, yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I would love to be a lead. That's what I would love to do.
What? Pick a lead.
I mean,
Anyone.
I mean, what I really want to do, and I know people are going to make fun of me for this, is from Cats.
Yes.
I want to be Rumpelteazer.
Okay.
The one that does like the double cartwheel. Like, ever since I was little and I saw that show, I'm like, that's who I want to be. Like, for some reason that part just stuck out. I'm like, most people, they're like, cats? Ew. I'm like, I love cats, okay? Like,
well, it's amazing. You know, Cats ran on Broadway for many years, decades. It's amazing. So it must have had something. What do you think is at the core of Cats that attracts people to it?
I think it's like, because there's so much they have to put into the show, because it's constant. Like, they're constantly singing and dancing. Yeah. So I think that's what it is. And I know, at least for me, the reason why I think I'm so big into it, that was the first show I ever saw.
Yes.
So I think that was a big...
Of course, has a big impression. Yes, absolutely. And it hasn't waned over the years, right? You still like Cats. You're still into it. You still want to do it. Yeah. Where did you see it?
I saw it in Arizona.
Okay.
It was at ASU. I can't remember what the theater is called, though, but it was the touring cast.
Right.
So it was really good. It was years ago, but I remember it was an amazing performance.
What is it about a show that touches your heart?
I guess just how it's all put together. Like, I like to think of it like 2 different ways. I like to think of it like in the actor's perspective and also like the director's perspective. Right. Because like, I don't know, because it's 2 different. Like, but I think that's like seeing it all put together. I think that's what really makes a show, because like seeing how dedicated people are and how much like they're actually enjoying themselves while up on stage. Right. I think that's what really makes a show. Like every night I just give like as much as I can. Yeah. But then whenever I like realize the audience likes like certain things over other things, I emphasize more on that instead of like the other things they don't find as funny. Yeah. So I know like there's a scene where the court scene where all the grannies are sitting up on the front row and the people behind us are like listening into what we're saying. And some of the things that we say are like, they die laughing. Like,
I mean, your comments on what's going on stage.
Yeah. Like they go crazy. I'm just like, oh, I need to make sure to like go more on that. Yeah. And every night, like we just do more and more based off of what like the previous audience has liked. And it's just, we gotten like bigger laughs every night because of it.
Well, it's kind of interesting, that, we have these humongous scene changes. You're part of them, and we've had to cover them. And yet, and sometimes when you insert these scenes, they can fall flat. But it seems like, especially some of these scenes we've added, they've really enjoyed it. They've gotten into it, and they get so lost in it, which is exactly what we want, that they forget it's a scene change. We're just doing a scene change. That's not right. We're just trying to cover the fact that, hey, don't look at there. Pay no attention to the man behind the mirror, because it's taking us a minute to do this. But pay no attention. But that's what we're doing, and you guys are being successful at it, and I think that's wonderful.
Well, I know, like, even whenever Kat does his, like, the Guten Tag Hop Plop, that thing, I was telling my boyfriend, because he came for the Family Friends night, and I was just like, so were people actually, like, getting up and doing that? And he's like, yeah, I did. I'm like, what? Like, you did? Because he's the kind, like, he would just sit there, like, he wouldn't, but I guess it really got him into it, too.
Have you been to New York?
No.
Oh.
I want to so badly.
I think we need to do a tour. Yes. We got a bunch of us that are just really into theater, and then just all go together. It would be a fabulous time. But it'd be a great learning experience, too, because the master classes, just by watching, are just incredible. Yeah. Just incredible. Oh, man.
Yeah, I always wanted to go. I know, like, I've always told my parents, I'm like, I really want to go to New York. And they're like, why? There's nothing to do there. I'm like, Broadway, like, come on. Like, Broadway and shopping. Those are my two things. Like, come on.
So, are your parents into singing, dancing, like I said?
Well, my mom was a dancer, so she's into that.
Right.
They're not singers at all, both of them.
So where do you get it from then? The skip a generation? What's the deal?
I really don't know.
Like your grandfather, grandmother, or something like that? Was it dance, singing, you know?
I know my grandpa sometimes, like, he sings for the church, but, like, I don't really know anyone in my family that was, like, in theater. I was always, like, the out one. Like, I was the only one that did band. I was, other than my mom, I was the only one that danced. Like, I was kind of, like, the outcast of my family.
Though they're supportive, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But they're not necessarily, per se, into it themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. They love seeing it. Like, I know my dad has taken me, to go see a lot of shows. Right. And they come every time they can to come see the shows, and they love seeing the shows. Right.
So, when you're not doing theater, what do you like to do?
I don't like to do it, but I have to go to work.
Yeah, well, what do you do in real life then? So, what do you do for work?
Well, I work at Chili's. Okay. So, I've done everything there. Right now, I host. But I do hosting, to-go, serving. I've done QA. Basically everything except for being a manager and bartender. Mm-hmm. So, which, I mean, it's money, so.
It pays the bills.
It's a good company, too. Yeah. So.
No, it's good food. I really like when they put the little kiosks in.
Yeah.
That really helps a lot. So you can just, go there, pay your bill, see, this is what it is. I think it's great. Or play games.
Yeah.
It's a great way to pass the time. Mm-hmm. No. It is good stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but when you're not working and you're not doing theater, what do you like to do? How do you decompress?
I just, literally, all I do is watch Netflix.
Really? What's your favorite series?
It sounds really bad.
No, I get it, right? Because, my favorite series, well, it's canceled about 10 years ago. So I guess I'll watch Angel. I'll watch, Buffy or whatever that is. Mm-hmm. What's your series that you like to watch?
Whew. Well, it keeps changing because I keep finishing shows.
Yeah, that happens.
But, right now, it just came out yesterday. Yep. Fuller House.
Yep.
Because Full House was my favorite show growing up. Like, even though, like, I was born after they stopped the show, like, it still came on all the time. Sure. So I've watched, like, every episode at least twice. But, so that's the show I'm binge watching right now. Like, but, I love Orange is the New Black.
Oh, yes.
That's a really good show. What else is there that I watch? Family Guy. Can't forget Family Guy. I literally watch that every night. That's kind of sad, but.
Well, when you watch, and everyone has their reason why they watch. Mm-hmm. Do you watch for the comedy? Do you watch for the action? Is it just guilty? But what is it about these particular series that captivate you?
I don't know. I think it's the comedy, because I'm, more into watching, the funny shows. Right, because I know my boyfriend, he likes the serious, though, so he's like, hey, let's watch Lost. And I'm like, how about this show instead? Because it's funny. But I think it's a lot about, if it's comedy, then if I laugh, then I'll want to watch it. Right. So I think that's what gets me. So
it's comedy because you just want to forget about everything that's going on in the world, or is it just touches something in you? Because some people are really into drama, and it's not because they're into serious topics or something like that, but whatever, maybe it's cathartic. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing that they like, but.
I don't know. I think, mostly with Family Guy, when I watch that, it's I have no clue what's going on because they're so all over the place. Right. So I think I'm just watching it just to watch it, and because I have nothing else to do, I'm just like, okay, let's watch this show. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. I definitely, the jokes that they make are very funny. Some of them not so much. Some of them just I love this show, but I'm going to pretend like they didn't say that so I don't stop watching it. Because there are some things, but... yeah.
Do you have a favorite actor or actress that you like to mimic or say, or dance or whatever? That you're like, hey, I want to be like that, or I can learn from that. I can use that next time.
I feel like everyone says this, but Sutton Foster.
Oh, she's awesome.
I love Sutton Foster. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's everyone's favorite.
I don't know. It seems like for a while people know who she was.
Really?
What a belter.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
See, it's basically, I love all of her shows that she's in. So if I'm going to be like anyone, I want to be like her, because she's seriously triple
absolutely.
Track.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
she can sing, dance, act. Oh, yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in any of her TV. I can't remember what it is, but I just saw on like Facebook or something that she's going to be on like some Netflix show, like a remake of some show. I'm just like, it's on Netflix. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But
what about guys? Any particular guy actors you like to watch? Or?
I love Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
I mean, Phantom of the Opera is my number one favorite, like, musical, movie, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was my favorite, and I liked that ever since it came out. Like, even though, like, I wasn't allowed to go see it in the movies because I was too young, but once it came out, like, on actual DVD, I watched it, I just kept watching it. Like, I probably have the whole show memorized. Like, I've watched it that much.
Yeah.
But, I just loved him in it, and it's not like that was his first like actual like singing show. Like he wasn't like the best, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I still think it was good.
Well,
so
I mean it's an important thing because there are a lot of people that have made it in Broadway that aren't necessarily the strongest or prettiest singers, guys or gals. What is it about them though that it says like no, we like them? And not so much for the singing, is it the personality? What is it that we like about it?
I think it's what they bring to the show.
Yes.
Because they bring something special.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what really, like, even though they might not be, like, the best actor, like, they bring something to the show to make them, like, oh, that's perfect for them. Like, this is where they should be.
What about dance? Is there something is there a dance show that you particularly care to do or something?
Honestly, like, probably not. Like, any of the dancing, like, I like to do or like to see is in the shows. Right. So I don't really watch dance, like, outside.
For dance sake, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I would watch, like, a dance concert, like, if I was in it. Like, I would watch everyone else do it, but I wouldn't, like... I don't know. I don't really, like, go to, like, ballets or opera, stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think of dance as also storytelling as much as you like acting in the music?
It definitely
musicals?
is.
Yes.
Because, like, no matter what you do, like, up on the stage, it's telling a story. Right. Even if it's, like, singing, acting, dance, even in band, like, it's telling a story through music.
How do you tell the story with a flute?
You have to make sure you play it right.
Oh, that'd help, yeah.
But I think it's just you telling a specific story. It's what everyone takes in as the story. Yes. So you'll be playing a music, and it's like when you're playing the music, you just like think of what the music is like sounding like to you and what it reminds you of, and that's how it brings you into a story or stuff like that. So,
what's the hardest emotion for you to emote on stage?
Because I can definitely do happy. I haven't really.
Can you cry in command? I have a hard time with that, but yeah.
I can sometimes, like. Yeah. I mean, I would right now, but I have makeup on.
I
don't want it to get all messed up before the show.
We got a show here.
I mean, I haven't had to cry on demand on stage, but I mean, I can off of stage. So I don't know if it's one of those I get on stage, I need to cry, and I can't.
Right.
I don't know, but I feel like maybe anger.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't really, like, it's very rare that I get mad and, like, really angry. So I feel like it would be harder for me to be, like, angry on stage.
Is it easier for someone to make you angry because they've done something to someone else as opposed to something they've done to you?
I guess it just depends on, like, what they did.
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes, like, most of the time if they do something to me, like, I'll get mad, but then I'll, like, automatically get sad. So I won't be mad anymore. I'll just be sad. So, but whenever they do it to someone else, then yeah, I will be mad, and I won't really get sad. I'll just stay mad.
What shows do you want to do next?
After this show's over, I want to audition for Into the Woods.
Into the Woods,
yes. I'm so excited because the Montgomery Lone Star, they're doing it, and I was just in Chicago over there, and I know the director. He was my acting 1 and 2 teacher, and he's amazing, so I would love to get to work with him in the show. I want to be Little Red. I mean, I feel like I look the age for that part. I mean, I look 12, so it's great. So I mean, I can play the younger better than I can the older because I kind of have like a baby face, you know. So I'm really excited for that. And then I know Jeff is doing Chicago.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would love to do that too and get to work with him like seeing him as a director because I've only worked with him as an actor. So that would be interesting. And Legally Blonde.
There's a lot you got going on in the next several months.
So excited for Legally Blonde. Like, that is one of my favorite musicals.
It's got a lot of parts for ladies, right? A lot of parts for ladies. Yeah. And it's a fun show. Well, it sounds like you're going to have a pretty busy time coming up, and we're glad to have you. Look forward to seeing you more on this stage. If heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates?
I want to tell him, like, I really believe that Jesus is your son, and I want to do everything for you. And I do believe heaven does exist.
Yes?
Yes. And sadly, hell does too.
Well. Kristin, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.